Hi artists. So in clinic and in life, I am asked very frequently what artists can do to avoid neck and upper back pain, especially if your work has you hunched over at computers for a long time, if you're a digital artist, if you do tattooing. Any of this kind of work can really take a toll and give us a lot of neck and upper back strength. Now, truth be told, what you really probably need is some strengthening. However, it can also be really helpful to do some soft tissue work on your own to help normalize the tissue and keep the aches and pains at bay. So this next series will be all about foam rolling and lacrosse ball rolling to help you normalize the tissue around your upper back and your chest pec area in order to relieve some upper back and neck pain. So let me know what you think. So if you have really tight pecs, this is a really nice way of doing some soft tissue work on yourself. So lacrosse balls are really nice. You just put it between the wall and you just let your tissue melt around the ball. Sometimes it can feel really intense, so you may want to just rest here and allow the tissue to soften around the lacrosse ball. If it's feeling like you could do a little bit more, then you can basically just work the ball into the muscle side to side. You could go up and down. Anything, I basically am looking for any muscles that are feeling tight, that give you any ropey, kind of achy, painful sensations, and you're just trying to work those out. So just spend anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes on these muscles to soften. All right, now take the lacrosse ball and place it right here between your scapula, your shoulder blade, and your spine, and push into the wall. You're looking to be on the meaty part, so you don't want to be on the spine, and you don't want to right now be on the shoulder blade or on the scapula. So you're looking to just work the lacrosse ball into those muscles that are often really, really tight on people. And we're just looking to normalize the tissue. You want to bring blood flow, you want to soften some tissues that might feel really kind of tight and ropey. So you can just apply pressure if that feels good and you want to do a little bit more. Then you can start moving around on the ball, looking for areas that feel particularly achy or ropey. And the goal is to just allow the tissue to soften around the ball and let the lacrosse ball do its work. All right, so now let's try to get the muscles that get really tight here around the armpit, especially if you tend to grip instruments and you're trying to support against your body, or you use your arm and your shoulder a lot. This can be a kind of sleeper area that people aren't often aware that can be really kind of achy and tight. So if you place the lacrosse ball on the area just where your arm kind of meets your armpit, and you just kind of stand against the wall feeling very sassy, then you can either just rest your body into the ball. Sometimes this area can be very tender, or you can start moving around. So forward and back is really nice. And then I just work my way down with the ball so that I get that whole area of the back of my arm, which is the back of your tricep and your lats, some of the rotator cuff, and I work all the way down that back part of the armpit to the tip of my scapula or your shoulder blade. So a lot of times if you find that that area is too painful to do any movement on, you can just rest on it and take a few breaths before moving it to the next. So now we're going to try to get the back part of the rotator cuff that can sometimes be very tender on people here. So I'll bring my arm across to my opposite shoulder and then place the ball on your scapula and then push into the wall. Sometimes this can give you a lot of sensation, so take it slow, take a deep breath, just let the tissue warm and wrap around the lacrosse ball. And then if it's feeling like you want to, or you can move around, then you can start exploring and looking for any areas that are tender or feel ropey. This can be a very sensation-rich area. So just kind of hunt around and see what areas of the muscle could use a little bit of attention. Okay, so if you happen to have a lot of shoulder and upper back pain from the work that you do, foam roll can be really, really handy to give you some of the opposing movements. A lot of times we're hunched forward, so this will allow you to extend back, and it'll help to bring circulation and blood flow to the muscles in this area. So get your foam roller and lay on it. When people first start, sometimes this is enough, and so you can just leave your hips on the ground and then allow your body to just drape over the roller. Once you've taken a few breaths there, then you can glide down a little further, extend through there, take a few breaths, and then go a little bit further and extend there. Once you've done that a few times, or if you're feeling really pretty comfortable, then you can roll from about the area in the middle of your rib cage to the area just at the top of your shoulders. You can go really broad strokes, or you could do little micro rolling in the areas that's feeling the most upset or tight or in need of attention. All right, if you're already feeling pretty comfortable foam rolling, now you can progress to using the roller in your full back. So grab your foam roller, drape over it, lift your hips off the ground a little bit, and you can use really a long movement from the area at the top of the shoulders all the way to the bottom of the rib cage, or you can do micro rolling where you find one area that you feel like you need a little bit extra attention, and you just do some really small glides forward and back with the roller. Happy rolling. All right, if you've been using your foam roller for a while, it may be time to progress. So put that aside and grab a peanut, which is 2 lacrosse balls that have been taped together, and you put those down on the ground and you use that in the same way that you would have used the foam roller. So you just place your spine right along the 2 sides of the peanut, and you roll from the base of your shoulders to the middle part of your spine. You can also just place the peanut there and drape over it so that you feel some extension, or you could do a little micro rolling where you're just using the rolling mechanism a tiny amount in a small area that needs extra attention. All right, so now last but not least, let's get some of this side body into the foam rolling action. So grab your roller, and first you can start by just applying pressure into the lateral part of your body and your side here, your lats and the back of your armpit. If that's feeling okay, because sometimes that can be pretty tender, then you could start with just doing some small micro rolling so that you can get a little bit more soft tissue work into those muscles. And if that's feeling pretty good, then you could lift the hips a little bit to then get a longer stroke with the foam roller to get the lats and the back of the armpit. All right.